What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys, and of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the fanliest of Fridays. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and of course, hop in the Discord, link for that's in the description box down below.
That's right, guys. Fan Friday. 2 days, actually, of news, info, and updates, as in Thursday and Friday. Stephen Jones spoke yesterday. Dak Prescott spoke today. Some of the news out there floating around about Trey Lance and what are we going to do with that quarterback, the backup quarterback position? Are we going to draft the quarterback? Well, Trey Lance might be the answer for that. And if you look right over to the right, bottom right, it's Tyler Smith. The question mark, fantastic player. Where is he going to play this year? Well, we've heard from him where he wants to play at guard. Well, we've got an expert that's helped him train that's going to let you know where he should play. And we'll hear from all that and more tonight right here on My Cowboys Family on a Fan Friday. So let's open this up before we get to all the information to the people who run the show. And that's the man McLovin, sponsor of the week and Cash App King.
That's right, repping the love and showing the love there. Thank you very much, McLovin. Of course. If you look on to the right, the man Jason Renfro, he's still bossing that stream around with 26 points.
Yeah. Much love to Jason Renfro. He's also the gifting champion. If you look right above, the champ over there, he dropped 5 gifted memberships in the last 2 weeks. That was enough to take the crown. But right now, Skeptical Fan, as you can see, has won. Nobody in second place. He's the only one repping it. And probably one more stream this week to this stream and Sunday stream. So we'll have a champion Sunday after the stream ends. So we'll see who wins that. And then you got the Cash App side of things and the sponsor of the week, meaning the leader on the current board this week. It's the same guy on both those boards. It's the same guy you see right here. It's Mr. McLovin once again at the top of the board with two streams basically to go, tonight's and Sunday. Unless there's something going on tomorrow, of course, there'll be a Saturday stream as well. Now, Mr. McLovin, he was one of the fantastic After Dark family members that dropped some love the other night, Thursday night. So Mr. McLovin, Dead Fool, also in the mix in here, right behind. I think he's right there with Seabass. You got Sco971 dropping some love. You got Grateful Nomad. You got Marissa. And you got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. So appreciate all you guys dropping a little love on the After Dark special. Also, Jacob Vasquez with the pre-stream. Drops of love. You know the deal. Appreciate Mr. Jacob Vasquez with the 5 on it pre-stream. He said, go motherfucking Cowboys for life. And said MCW #1.
She is #1. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate that, of course.
Yes. Thank you all repping the boards. And those that are in the lead currently, hey, we'll see what happens. We got at least 2 days, this night and Sunday night, to see the champions, who they will be. As you can see, there's different ways of dropping the love, whether it is super chat or the thanks button, or there's, of course, the memberships. You can jump into that. I know we had some star level members fall out of the membership, but hopefully they get back in before the big raffle. I'll explain that in a minute. And there's also, the thanks button, gifting memberships, jumping into membership, super chats. Those are the basic ways that we all go through. We all know that you can go through the YouTube side of things. But then there's 4 other ways you can drop the love here, which affects the Cash App, affects the overall board, don't get me wrong, but also specifically the Cash App board. And baby, what are those 4 ways you can go through the Cash App kingdom?
Well, of course, you have the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, and last but not least, of course, the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
Just wanted to throw out there, just like, McLovin and Deadpool. Then we do the PayPal. Sko971, Grateful Nomad, Marissa, Daniel Barry, everybody, they went through the Cash App. So just saying, there's all these ways to get in there. That's why you see a lot of doubling up. When you get that sponsor week, they're also getting that Cash App. So good luck to all. Speaking of good luck, there's going to be a raffle at the end of the month.
That's right.
Everyone
almost there.
Yeah, we got about 10 days or so, I guess, before the end of the month of April. Probably
holiday post-draft raffle at this
post-draft
point, right?
raffle going down. And the Star and Over Everything level memberships. If you're in the Star, you get 1 raffle entry. If you're in the Over Everything, you get 2 memberships there. So raffle entries. And then if you're in one of the weekly winners, for example, McLovin, he's also added into the list, and
That's right.
Every weekly winner will be added into the mix for the month. You might get 2, 3, 4 new names along with the Star and Over Everything members. So we'll see what happens. Who wins this sewn and stitched jersey from us, actually, and we'll see what happens. Within the next, I guess, 8, 9, 10 days. See who else wants to jump in there to be able to get in this monthly jersey raffle. Baby, it is Fan Friday, and we do the nightly shout outs for the Star and Over Everything. But also we do the silver shout-outs. An extra special love to the man who's been rocking the top spot since the beginning of the membership, where we've had Mr. A. Lavelle.
That's right.
At silver level.
Longest running MCF member there in the membership. And thank you very much, of course, to Skeptical Fan, Jason Renfro, Lincoln Kane, Dwayne Broussard, The Lunatic, and Over Everything, Seabass.
Yeah, you know it. Much love to everybody. And hopefully we get Seabass here on a Sunday night finale. That's the hope here. We get him on here.
Yeah, I already shot him some behind-the-scenes messages with the details.
We should be good for a little finale this weekend. Now, let's get it on, baby. Who's in the house ready to talk some Cowboy football?
Hey, the man himself, Mr. Seabass, who said, I'll be there.
Hell yeah, can't wait.
And him and the whole crew, right? We have, wait, I'm going to get this, right? I know we have Tweety and Sylvester, right? Because he has a little parakeet cat combo, but we also have... What is it? Thor, Loki. Crap, I forgot that. Zeus, Thor, Max, and Loki. There we go. So
the whole crew's here.
4 coolest German Shepherds. Double R representing much love. Bama fans saying Dak is whack. Hey, we can't start off a stream here of MCF without some Dak hate, I guess. Raul, hello. Happy Friday to you. Rolando Rodriguez, much love all the way from South Texas. Yeah, we'll be talking about the... Cap boys, really, right? Jarrett Jones, who said, my son Stephen Jones might tell lies, but I speak the truth. He must have learned this from his mom. Not like father. # not like father, like son.
Oh, we just heard from Jarrett himself.
I mean, Stephen doesn't have any illegitimate love children running around, so you're right. Not like father, like son.
Not yet.
Let me see. Michael Autry, hello and hi. Apocalyptic Cowboy saying, I cannot stand to listen to Stephen Jones speak. Whew, man.
Join the club.
I made a joke earlier in the chat basically saying every once in a while I double check some of the things that Jerry and Steven say because I swear, I'm like, man, I swear I've seen this before, almost word for word. Nope, they are just that consistent with their messages. So,
the other night we were on, we just heard from Stephen Jones. He just literally spoke again. So you're going to hear a lot of things might upset you again.
Oh, yeah. Daniel Baby Sports, what's up? Much love. Tia Chana. Hello and hi. Hey, I would love another Twilight movie. Supposedly they're going to do an animated version of Twilight. We'll see if that actually works out, right? Thomas Garrett, the Superior Garrett.
Give me a second, I'll be right back.
Keep rolling with the shout-outs here, guys. We have Dark Raven. Dark Wings, Dark Words. What's up? Choice Roberts. Yes, guys, drop them if you got them, guys. Stephen White, of course. Hello and hi. Thanks for rolling here with us. Rocking back. I know I see Jacob Vasquez in the house. Jason Renfro, the man himself. Much love, stream boss. Freedom First. Looks like he did manage to be first today. Good for you. What's up? Asmodeus representing it Memphis style. What's up? Cracking me up. So, with that said, let's go ahead, start diving into the kind of cowboy and cowboy adjacent news that we're all here to rock and roll with.
Yeah, let me start off with NFL news. First about Zay Flowers. It was insufficient evidence, which says that they can't, figure out, NFL can't figure out whether he violated the personal conduct policy. It should sound familiar, because we do know somebody from that violating the personal conduct policy, someone named Ezekiel Elliott, even way back when, right? So the Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers is not going to face a suspension to kick off the season.
Okay.
Police investigated this alleged assault and these complaints against Zay Flowers, who, again, was suspended without any charges being filed earlier this year. And the NFL released a statement on Thursday saying that their own examination for this incident has also come to a close. He will not face any more discipline from the league.
Okay.
So following the review, the NFL basically said there was insufficient evidence supporting a finding that he was engaging in any activity that violated any of the NFL's personal conduct policies. There will be no action taken by the league, end quote, on that. Zeke might want to redo on those investigators and use these guys, because last time they railroaded him, and now people are seeming to not be violating those personal conduct policies from the NFL as often. It's kind of interesting.
The way that most rules unfortunately work is usually somebody has to get screwed over somewhere before they change it, and the Zeke situation is absolutely one of the big reasons why you see the NFL handling them a little bit differently since that point.
Yeah, I think that was that. I'm not saying we would have made the playoffs, but that definitely derailed us. Even though we got Zeke back in time to get in the playoffs, he looked rusty at that point. So it definitely affected the season. Not that we would have done anything in the playoffs.
No way to know how it would have gone, but it was obviously impactful.
Yeah, for sure. So again, that's part one of things here. Just getting that down. Just NFL news, other NFL news. Speaking of suspensions, the NFL today or yesterday reinstated a bunch of players that were suspended for gambling. Remember last year, they lost an entire year, some of these guys. Washington Commanders Shaka Toney was reinstated yesterday, along with free agents Rashad Berry, Quintus Cephas, CJ Moore, and Demetrius Taylor. These 5 players were the ones that were suspended last year in the entire 2023 season for violating the NFL's gambling policy. And they may participate in all team activities or sign with any clubs, the 4 free agents. Remember, one guy, Shaka Toney, he's still with the Commanders, but the other 4 guys were released. All right, because you got former Lions receiver Quinton Cephas, safety from the Lions formerly, C.J. Moore, and Demetrius Taylor, also from the Detroit Lions.
I was going to say, I was just about to say, I'm like, wasn't it that whole little chunk of Lions players that all got caught together?
Well, there was 3 of them. 3 of them. The 4th one is the Colts linebacker Rashad Berry, former Colts. So these 4 guys are still free. Now they're allowed back on any team. So you look at, is Rashad Berry a guy the Cowboys can get some depth? Can we get someone like Demetrius Taylor in the defensive line side of things? C.J. Moore at safety, Quintus Cephas at receiver. Cowboys probably not going to mess with any of these guys. We'll see. But, see what happens. Skeptical fan. It is second one for the week, his second gifted membership in the lead, ready to take over his crown back. And big shout-outs to Rolando Rodriguez getting the benefit there of a gifted membership from the Skeptical one.
Drop them if you got them. Thank you very much, Skeptical fans, showing the love here.
He's shown the love also.
Stopping on by.
He's also shown the love a lot on the After Dark sessions as well. So appreciate Mr. Skeptical fan on all the boards, all the places, and hey, especially gifting. It's one of the best ways to help the channel. So big shout out to Skeptical fan, much love, and I'll update the 2. Now you have 2 on that board. So yeah, any comments on this?
Yeah, Asmodeus was asking, didn't somebody in the NBA get banned for life? For sports betting and things like that?
Yeah, there was a guy who actually threw, there was, I don't have it was just recently, like today or yesterday, but the basketball player actually was like through like his play, like he purposely missed shots.
Oh, okay.
Like it actually affected the ending of games.
A little bit different than just these players doing it. Basically, the easy way to remember, guys, is the NFL players who violated the whole gambling thing or whatever. Part of the big reason is that the teams are very explicit, very clear. You cannot do your little gambling shit on football premises. Doesn't matter if it's legal and perfectly okay for you to do. You can't do it on the premises. Similar to, hey, you are over 21. You can have a beer, but there's places you can't drink alcohol. It's against the rules, right? So they basically bet legally on things they could bet on. Right. But in the wrong location.
College games, basketball games, other sports. But
they did it while at team facilities, so the NFL just does not want any kind of implication that they are somehow sponsoring or like enabling any kind of sports betting or anything like that.
At
like
their
said,
at the team facilities. That's the difference between the NBA players. So
so just throwing that out there. And Apocalyptic Cowboy said, I envision a huge gambling scandal with accusations of players throwing games in the next few years. Absolutely. I have a feeling that a lot of these NFLPA rule adjustments and updates were also partially to maybe help buffer some of that when it comes to like increasing the pay and trying to help some better benefits and things like that.
Stop people from doing that.
If you pay people better, the expectation
but
is hopefully they're not going to do something like that.
But there's always going to be guys that are getting paid, $200,000, and they would be the ones that would, hey, you get $1 million to do this and throw this, but you have to be like a kicker or so it would be a low level player that would have to mess up. But so I don't think it'll be any major stuff. I don't think there's going to be like crazy stuff going on, but there will be something in the future found. Listen, there's gambling in other sports, and it hasn't really affected it in a way where it's going to be like it was shut down and there was a fear of throwing games. So I don't think it's going to be that bad because the salaries they make will help, offset guys that are in major positions to throw a game. Like, there's no way you're going to get Dak Prescott throwing a game when he's getting $50 million a year, $60 million a year. That's just crazy. Yeah. No gambling is going to pay that off to him. But there may be a kicker like Brandon Aubrey who's getting rookie pay and slices a kick and loses a game, and then he gets $2 million from some guy. Yeah, so
you never know.
Yeah,
but
we never know.
But I do agree with you, Apocalyptic. It is just a matter of time. But heck, we have players now.
We'll see the severity
up to
of
dumb shit.
Yeah, we'll see the severity. I think it's more about throwing games bigger than just betting on your while you're at your team site. That's one thing. But the deeper thing would be throwing games. That would end betting in the NFL. I think that would be the end of that. And the NFL just players that take less money, and the NFL makes a little less money. So, outside of the gambling stuff, we also got other NFL news. The Browns signing offensive lineman here right before the draft. The Browns signed veteran free agent offensive lineman Jermaine Ifedi. He made 59 career starts at right tackle and 24 at right guard. So he's a right side player. The Browns signed him last year. He spent most of the season on the Bills' active roster, but did not appear in any game. So he obviously, not really having a lot of use, but also, I guess you could say he's fresh. Packers. They signed former Eagles first rounder and Titans free agent acquisition offensive tackle Andre Dillard. So he's there with the Packers, providing them a little bit of benefit on the offensive line before the draft. And I am gonna kind of we're talking about the draft. Bill Belichick, interesting little. We talked about him the other day. Belichick and Andy Reid, they once traded they just purposely each two traded picks with each other in the 7th round. They traded 7th round picks just to keep their personal streaks of draft trades continuing. This was what Bill Belichick said in his interview, which we missed that little tidbit. I thought that was interesting, that him and Andy Reid just flipped 7th round picks to say that streak continues of trades. Receivers, I'll go back to receivers because former receiver from the Panthers, DJ Shark, really one of the top free agent receivers available in free agency right now, spent yesterday with the Chargers at their building for a visit. Chargers may draft a receiver high. They cut a guy, they lost a guy, but they still need starters. Shark's going to be an option for them. And the last piece of news, which actually we're going to talk about more a little later, but a little breeze here on CeeDee Lamb when it comes to what's going on with Justin Jefferson. Now, there was the Athletics newsletter, Scoop City, said that the Minnesota Vikings, who, by the way, may be looking at Justin Herbert, I think. So a lot of Justins, but the Vikings, when it comes to Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, expecting to sign maybe a contract in the next couple of days for around over $32 million a year.
That's wow.
Yeah. And that's a number to keep in mind. That's relative to our Dallas Cowboys CeeDee Lamb, especially if the Jefferson thing happens first.
Very relevant.
Yeah. So if
like,
he gets,
I have to admit, isn't that a little more than he?
Yep. We were looking at 30 million range. Now it's 32 million, possibly for. Now this could be bullshit in the sense of like his people could be relaying this information like this. Oh, I'm about to sign is 32 million, but that means CeeDee Lamb now has that little placeholder with the Joneses. Though, if the Joneses give him 31.5, would he take it? You know, Jefferson will get 32 then. So, I mean...
I was just about to say, even if it ends up not being like 32, like you said, it's going to be definitely more than the 30 million that he was...
So, should CeeDee Lamb wait it out, or should he just sign for a little under that? The Joneses might even offer... They might be offering 28, you know? So, we don't know yet what's happening on that.
You know, laughing about it, but... Yeah, why wouldn't he hold out? Like, even if the negotiations were... friendly and everything was going great and everything was going his way, why wouldn't he hold out for more?
I agree. I mean,
I have to be real here.
It's smart if he does. We talked about it the other day. I mean, why risk injury when you're gonna get, again, when you should be getting is a lot more on your contract going forward and guaranteed money and all that stuff.
Again, that is why I do have to admit I am slightly jealous of the teams that you do see being proactive when it comes to some of their talented players, right? They do offer them a little bit more for that initial signing. And again, the problem is that every team that kind of does that also slightly resets the market, which is how you end up in a situation where now Justin Jefferson is going to get probably closer to 32 and CeeDee Lamb is maybe going to get closer to like 33 and then et cetera, et cetera.
And he keeps growing and growing. Yeah, that's the market. That's the way the market works. So, yeah, it looks like... That's the situation with CeeDee Lamb. We will have more from CeeDee Lamb, and we'll hear more about the situation when Dak speaks in a little bit here. And I also want to make sure we hear from Brandon JS, who I see just dropped a 5 on it, a $5 holler from Brandon. What did he have to say, baby?
Why did Post Malone get a Chiefs tattoo of Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes? So,
good question.
First of all, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate you. Post Malone is a goofball. I kind of said it in the chat, and he already has obviously a wide variety of tattoos.
Well, the one thing I know is that he's a Cowboy fan, but he when he was at that Chiefs party, Chiefs like Super Bowl party, they made him take off his cowboy jacket and by Mahomes' wife, and then he put on a Chiefs jacket or shirt, jersey, whatever for a second. He said, I think for one song, and he tore it off and put the cowboy jacket back on. So I don't know, maybe he is some connection to Kansas City because of the people he met there. But he is a Cowboy fan, even though we don't support two-teamers.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a team thing, is what I'm saying. I think it's just if it's just a tattoo of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Like Skeptical fan said, Post Malone get gay tattoos on his asshole. I care. Oh. Rainbow tattoos.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
sorry, I read it like rainbow. As gay. Yeah, there you go.
There's no gay emoji. Just throwing that out there. Thank you, Brandon.
At the After Dark level, when we see that, it means gay. I'm just saying that's the way they do it there on the other channels. That's what I'm used to. Much love, Brandon. Appreciate it. As he takes Jason Ramford to 21 points. Right now, that number is unused currently. No Stephon Gilmore and no Ezekiel Elliott. So now, appreciate you, Brandon. And let me continue this real quick because Netflix has something. A lot of Cowboy stuff coming out on Netflix. There's a new Dallas Cowboy cheerleader show that's being released to Netflix this summer. So now this launch date for this it's called America's Sweethearts, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, has not been confirmed, but it's probable. It looks like it's going to happen, and it's going to happen. If you remember, guys, a short hiatus. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders had a show on for a bunch of years. They're returning to the small screen this summer. Remember, in 2022, there was a 16-year run. It ended in 2022 of the very popular Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making the team. It ended on CMT. They were done after 16 years. On Thursday, the Cowboys and Netflix announced that the cheerleaders, are returning with episodes to TV in that America's Sweethearts, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. That's going to be on Netflix. And this series follows the 2023-24 cheerleading squad last year.
Nice.
From start to finish, over 7 45-minute episodes directed and produced by Emmy Award winner Greg Whiteley and the team, they're the same group of people that did basically Cheer and Last Chance U.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to get that perspective. I want to add one thing about this. Just one little thing. That playoff loss to the Packers, they're going to obviously do that. Remember there was a claim that some of the Packer players were running over to the cheerleaders?
Yeah,
and
like
talking shit to them
and all that.
And like getting right in their faces. We'll see that. If that happens. Some people say that's bullshit. Well, we'll see if that's true in this series. I'll be watching for that. See, I remember. I'm not going to say it, but I remember.
Well, I mean, it's not every day you hear from cheerleaders.
No, well, we're going to soon.
So
we're going to see that soon.
Raul, I don't disagree at all. He said the Cowboys need to focus more on winning playoff games, not the cheerleader shows. So
I agree.
The good thing is, none of the players or the staff are involved in the cheerleading show there. But you know who is? Do you know the person who would have to make and okay these types of decisions? Probably heavily involved in these decisions, but also supposed to be doing football decisions. Do you know who that is?
Right there.
Yeah, I think it might be our GM/owner, Jerry Jones. This is why a man who tries to wear two hats soon finds he does not have two heads.
Well, he thinks he does. Jerry Jones is reported, listen to this, since you're talking to Jerry Jones, he offered double whatever the Kentucky Wildcats were committing to offer John Calipari. Like, he put it out there. So we're talking about how did John Calipari go from from Kentucky to Arkansas? Mm-hmm. Jerry Jones is an Arkansas booster and was the man who reportedly helped them hire John Calipari last week. So, again, like I had said, it was Jerry Jones that really got that deal to work. So Jerry Jones is focusing on his AT&T Stadium concerts and other things that are coming into town. The Netflix stuff, which follows him around. Now has another one that has the cheerleaders getting followed around. He's getting involved in college basketball recruiting for, getting quote unquote free agent coaches, from his alma mater in Arkansas. We ain't doing shit for our free agents on this Cowboy team. And that's been the big, stick on this fucker. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about it too much now because he didn't talk much. And honestly, we know the bullshit from him. By the way, Tony Romo, he was in this gala with Aikman and Dak Prescott, which was where Dak spoke. We'll talk about it later. But Romo he jokingly said that he would last about 2 plays if he tried to go back out there and play football for the Cowboys. And I'd say I agree, especially with our offensive line issues.
I think he's being generous, especially with our offensive line issues.
Yeah, 2 plays, 1 play. Now, real quick, it's not really a lot of draft stuff going on. So when you look at, I guess you could look at that there. Let me do this here. Hold on. Let me just kind of do that there. That's better. Just the round by round picks and all that stuff. This is where I tuck my little draft corner here. And I'm just gonna have a couple. Tonight is really a quickie when it comes to the draft talk. So offensive tackle, and you'll see him here, guys. See him in round 2. The first guy there in round 2, the number 4, the guy with number 40 next to him. He's a guy that the Cowboys are very interested in. His name is Kingsley Salmataia. And he visited the Cowboys yesterday at the Star. All right, he's from BYU. He's listed as the 7th best tackle, and he's also cousins with the Penei Sewell and the other Sewell, all the Sewell brothers. Mm-hmm. So he's related to the Sewell. He's a big guy because of his high ceiling. Some people see the Cowboys maybe even picking him in a trade down scenario, even bypassing the centers and just going with someone like Kingsley. At 32, 34, 35, you get him. And then, you get yourself an extra pick later. I guess they're worried about the centers later. I don't know. They're not really worried about this. Maybe they're going to go Brock Hoffman. So either way, that's the situation there when it comes to this draft. For that, it could be a possible trade back. And we skip on the centers and go with the 7th ranked tackle. But I don't want to get some of these other names out there. I'd rather get someone like Salmataia, who we can get in even later in the second round, which would get us maybe a 3rd or 2nd round pick.
Don't you think, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm asking you, my love, don't you think it's a little bit short-sighted for the Cowboys to make a long-term draft decision over what is currently a short-term offensive line situation? And what I mean by that is, if they feel confident about our backups at center that are now going to quote-unquote be starters, then sure, we can, like you said, we can wait at center. But that only happens if the Cowboys feel okay about who they currently have now. But again, that's here now this year. Are they going to make a whole long-term, kind of offensive line decision based off of that? You know what I mean?
I think offensive line is one thing you can do without a new coach. It doesn't matter what kind of coach you're getting. You get a great offensive line. The coach, the coaching scheme and the coaches, doesn't matter. That's the one position you don't have to have your kind of, as long as you have good players.
So basically the Cowboys can afford to just get the good talent and figure those things out later. The offensive line can be figured out, and we can roll with a lot of these we could draft all offensive linemen for 3 years, and any coach that comes to this team is going to love an offensive line that's actually rolling. They can do a lot with that. So I don't think that's going to affect anything. But
when you look a little later in the draft, rounds 5, 6, 7, look for Texas linebacker Jalen Ford. He had a pre-draft visit with the Cowboys on Wednesday.
Okay.
And again, the focus on linebackers for the Cowboys is real. So I don't think it's going to be it could be a second or third round linebacker, but I'm seeing like a Jalen Ford from the Texas Longhorns as a more of a fifth round linebacker possibility. Keep that in mind. I'm even seeing sixth round for him, so that'd be a steal in my opinion. Now, one of the last parts I want to talk about when it comes to the this draft situation, then we're going to go to the offensive line again. Rico Dowdle, along with what's his name? We just picked him up. I can't believe I forgot his name now. The newest player we just got from the Royce Freeman, running back, that we picked up on free agency. The second guy we picked up in the entire free agency. We're listed as one of the top 5 running back needy teams. The Giants are 5th. The Broncos are 4th. The Cardinals are 3rd. The Vegas Raiders are 2nd. And the Dallas Cowboys are rated as the number 1 most running back needy team. So I want to say this, because to me, it's not about, we talked about the running backs. We know we can pick running backs. They really get good between rounds. Let's just say, I want to say second round. Let's say round 3 through 5 or 6. You got a lot of good running backs that are about the same in those ranges. So if you want to get someone better than all of that, do you really want to do that? What I would maybe consider doing, think about this, that's about using your trades to move around. Using a late round pick. We got 2 7th rounders. 6th rounder. I don't know if the Cowboys don't like the guys I got there. What about trading? If we didn't get a running back yet, what if the Cowboys traded a late round pick to the Texans, to Eastside Harold's Texans, for running back Dameon Pierce? This guy's probably going to be released at the end of the season. Yeah. They get nothing for him. Getting a trade for a draft draft pick for a running back.
Especially a guy that, like you pointed out, they were already probably internally planning on moving on from anyway.
They have other guys. Again, I doubt the Texans are going to be willing to part ways with this very young, good running back. He had a great rookie year. But every non-wide zone blocking team in the league should be inquiring about a possible trade for this guy. That means the Cowboys. So the Cowboys should inquire. The Texans, they don't really fit their running scheme, I think. So that is where they're going to be on the outs with him. He's a proven starter-level running back, a true guy that has like juice in the locker room, has pull there. If Pierce were in this year's running back class, he might be the number 1 running back of this group. Wow. And he's entering his 3rd year now. So to me, this would be better than even drafting a running back. Is using one of those later round picks instead of a running back, getting a Dameon Pierce from the Texans, if they would be willing to trade him.
That goes without saying. No. I mean, if you get everything you would want from a non-rookie, you know what I mean? Very young, though, only entering his 3rd year. Yeah, while also getting all the benefits of basically still paying him his rookie contract and only spending a very low pick, draft capital-wise, to trade away. So it's not like it really impacts any kind of draft scenarios you had. Yeah. So, to me... Yeah, you replace a proven veteran. I hate to say that has the Dallas Cowboys seal of approval, but that absolutely would be something that I think the Cowboys would consider. Has MCW seal of approval. Yes, it has MCW seal of approval. And so we'll see how that goes to running back. We draft one or trade on draft day, trade for a running back, possible. Now, Richard said, I want Jalen Wright or Braylon Allen.
I like Braylon Allen. I love my guy I would pick out of all the running backs would be from Florida State, and Trey Benson to me would be the number one pick in my mind. Yeah.
I can let you know at least the chat Apocalyptic Cowboy and Luis Ortiz have similar feelings as far as the O-line choices the Cowboys can or can't make, right? Yeah. Apocalyptic said, we need a dominant center, so we'll be strong up the middle while still drafting a running back. And Luis Ortiz said, I don't want a center that's mediocre. We had that with Biadasz, and we got nowhere in the run game. Well, we had to bounce almost everything to the outside instead of in the 1s and 2s in the trenches.
And that's what I'm trying to say, guys. So that's why my pick is, I'm just giving you an option. When it comes to that Kingsley in early round 2, Cowboys could trade back far back enough, you get another second rounder, or maybe a 3rd round pick, a high 3rd round pick, and you get yourself that offensive tackle, and you get 2 more picks that are like top 70. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Cowboys could be thinking, but I agree with that last comment because as I said this multiple times the last month, rather than getting this, that's the 7th best offensive tackle. Rather than getting the 7th best offensive tackle, I'd rather get the best center. And you can still trade back. And you can still get a 3rd rounder or 4th rounder back. That would be the best deal. Go back 4-5 spots, get a 4th rounder or 3rd rounder. You still get one of the top 2 guys, JPJ or Graham Barton. Those are the top two centers, bar none.
And just because I'm curious, guys, drop a 1 in the chat if you'd like to see the Cowboys target a center or an interior offensive lineman in the first round, or drop a 2 if you think nope, tackle is the way to go. We want to go on the outside.
Remember, think of it like this: first round, it'd be you're the 6th or 7th or 8th best tackle, or the 1st or 2nd best center, who are basically 1A, 1B. Think about that. 1B, by the way, Graham Barton, he plays all the offensive line positions. Just want to throw that out there too. So now, speaking of offensive line, we got Tyler Smith talk here real quick. The advantages of keeping Tyler Smith at left guard. I think that's the best place for him. That's why I'm saying we got to get a center and a tackle, not a center guard. So I want to keep him at guard. I've been saying this for a very long time. But my question is, I want to hear the end. I don't want to go by my explanation. I want to go by Duke Manyweather, who we know is an offensive line guru guy. He's out there teaching and training all our Cowboy guys in the offseason. He's part of O-line masterminds in Texas. And he is as much of a Cowboy offensive line insider and coach as anybody that doesn't have an employee key card. Right? He don't work for the organization. But he has insights. He's a great inside source because, again, he's based across the street from the Ford Center at the Star. He trained some of the league's premier offensive linemen, and mainly a lot of Cowboy players go there. O-line mastermind clients include Zach Martin, Terrence Steele, and now, again, the last couple of years, Tyler Smith. Manyweather has a lot of thoughts on how the puzzle on the offensive line could be put together properly. And his most adamant suggestion for Tyler Smith is, quote, do not move him to tackle, end quote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, baby, you talk about it. You got the whole breakdown.
So let's
the whole interview from Duke Manyweather about Tyler Smith.
He's a special guard. Special guard. Could be an okay tackle? Yep, sure can. But I think fans like to romanticize what he was at tackle in 2022, even though he was a rookie. The best way for me to describe it is Tyler's superpower at guard becomes his kryptonite a little bit at tackle. So, and I'm going to pause right there.
Yeah, what have I been screaming about since even his rookie year, but definitely after last year? He's a elite guard, Pro Bowl Hall of Fame guard. He's like a Pro Bowler at tackle, but he's an elite Hall of Fame guard.
Yeah, no one's denying the fact that it's absolutely a 11 out of 10 that in case of emergency we can break the glass with Tyler Smith and have him be a tackle if we need him to.
Yeah, he's our backup tackle. Is what my mind. He's our starting guard, and that to me is like, I want the best out of him every year. I want him at guard. But Duke and I agree.
Yeah, so let's talk about again how his superpower becomes his Achilles heel at tackle. So he said, quote, he's an aggressive, in your face, be able to jump, set up, and upkick guys in the pass game, be able to roll guys and have violent hands at the point of attack and getting on guys early in the run game. At tackle, you can't do that. At tackle, you have to be more patient.
That's true.
You have to stay within your frame and within your technique. You have to pick your spots to be able to be aggressive, and that's just not who Tyler is as a person. And that's not Tyler at his best when you take the aggressiveness away from him.
So, guys, that's the point. So, being aggressive is not that aggressive. The way Tyler naturally is not good for that outside blocking, for a tackle blocking guy, for a tackle on the left side. So, at guard, he could be explosive, and that's the idea, to be aggressive and explosive at guard.
The thing that makes him such a good guard is that aggressiveness, that explosiveness, that initial burst having
to have that extra patience.
You lose all of that momentum when you're at tackle with Tyler Smith. So continuing on to what he said, quote, with offensive line, it's about continuity. People don't understand. They're like, oh, your left tackle and center are gone. Continuity is out the window. In terms of communication, there is still a way to salvage it. You don't want to have a gap in that communication.
I agree. I mean, again, Duke Manyweather and I, same page. I'm glad that he's advocating for Tyler Smith to stay at guard, not taco, but tackle. Dark Raven.
I thought he meant like Taco Charlton. I'm like, we don't talk about those dark days.
We don't talk about it. I don't know if Dark Raven knows who Taco Charlton is, but that's traumatic.
So, no, look, I really appreciate hearing from guys like Duke Manyweather just because, again,
a true insider.
That
in a
kind
way,
of
right?
real inside knowledge when you're working with these players and you know what their skill set is. You know, he's not wrong about the rose-colored glasses. So,
yeah, again, I love to hear Duke Manyweather is giving you his professional advice. Hopefully, the Cowboys offensive line coach Mike Soliari, Mike McCarthy is the offensive coordinator, basically, and Schottenheimer as the actual name coordinator. I hope these three guys can understand that this would be the best route for the Cowboys. So,
and like a few of you guys said in the chat, and like we heard straight from Tyler Smith just a handful of weeks ago, he said it.
I'd rather play at guard.
He prefers playing at guard. He feels more comfortable at guard, and he would like to personally stay at guard.
But he also said, I'll play anywhere. It doesn't matter to me.
Of course.
He can do it great, and he will be a great player no matter where he is. Now, moving on to this thing here, guys, Dak Prescott. We're getting closer to some of the stuff here, but Dak Prescott and his rape case investigation. What's the update on this? In a continuing effort to kind of show his innocence and transparency in regards to an alleged sexual assault, Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott recently submitted to a quick interview with Dallas police as part of their ongoing investigation. The interview took place at Dallas Police Department headquarters. Per a familiar source with the situation, and his lawyer Levi McCatherine confirmed the interview. So
yeah, so it's not like they're trying to like hide or anything. They're agreeing, yep, we did that.
Yeah, Dak denied the sexual assault claim in a text to the Star Telegram. What did he say, baby?
She is trying to get $100 million from me to, quote, not report a rape case I obviously did not do.
Yeah, so that's Dak. And a text to the Star Telegram. That's what he said today, literally. And McCatherine, his lawyer, his attorney, said Dak did nothing wrong and says the truth and will prevail.
Adding in their quote, we reported their criminal behavior to the Prosper Police Department and have been fully cooperative with them. When Ms. Shores doubled down on her false claims of sexual assault and reported it to the Dallas Police Department, we proactively reached out to cooperate with them as well. Dak has nothing to hide and he did nothing wrong. He has and will continue to fully cooperate with any investigation, knowing the truth is on his side.
So that's how that stays. And we'll hear more from Dak. Actually, Dak quickly touches on this when he got interviewed today.
Guilty or innocent, he's definitely handling this
the
the way that an innocent person would. Yeah. In the sense of, obviously he's lawyered up and protecting himself and stuff like that, but the fact that he even spoke about it or made a statement about it, and especially the statement that he made.
He's jumping out in front of this and making sure you guys know he has not done any of this crap that she's saying.
Especially because remember, because the case is still ongoing, any statements that are made either by Dak or by the person accusing him, absolutely can be used in this case. So. Yeah.
And I wanted to say a couple of things.
Cassie Stewart, shout out to you. Much love. Long time no see. And even lead commander had to admit it. Said, as a Commanders fan, I agree. Tyler Smith is a stud at guard. He is a mauler.
That is facts. I see Reddy Red in the house. Much love to Reddy Red.
Dark Raven, a happy 420. A little early for that here.
Actually, it's exactly 420 right now.
Where?
Here. It's 420. Happy New Year.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know it's 420?
I mean, my clock says 150. I'm lost.
The date, my love.
Oh, okay.
I just thought it's April 20th. Happy New Year. Anyways.
Look, the day doesn't end until I go to bed. So right now it's still Friday.
But officially, Thank you very much. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Anyways, guys, I wanted to add to this a little bit here because Jerry Jones spoke, I'm going to say it like this, a clown show. But listen to this important factor. Jerry Jones initially talked tough, really tough, when Zach Martin was holding out during training camp.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Boom. Caved in.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediate cave in as soon as things became a little tough on the offensive line. And if you remember, you talked about Emmitt Smith. When he held out, the Cowboys lost their first two games to start the season. And the second game was against the losers to us in the Super Bowl, 6 months earlier, the Bills, or 8 months earlier. So the Bills and the Washington Redskins at the time beat us, opening the season without Emmitt Smith. So he kind of stuck to his guns, and then had to pay Emmitt the money he was worth. And we won a Super Bowl that year. Remember that? But
no lessons were learned.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. You figure, okay, we won a Super Bowl. We paid our guy. Now you figure he's going to do whatever it takes to make it work. But again, when it comes to Dak Prescott, we're assuming he believes Dak is valuable to the franchise. If you don't believe that, then what does he do? Why is he playing games? And you just let him go. Stop saying you're going to sign him. So here's the thing. Here's why Dak Prescott has a huge advantage over this front office. Yeah, over Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. Listen to the quarterbacks that are scheduled to be free agents next year, along with Dak Prescott.
Okay.
All right, this is more leverage for Dak. Russell Wilson, an older Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Okay.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Sam Darnold. Zach Wilson. Jacoby Brissett. Marcus Mariota. Drew Lock. Andy Dalton. Jameis Winston. Mac Jones. Cooper Rush. Trey Lance. And you got Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback on this list. Dak has
by a wide margin.
I'd say other than Justin Fields, I'd even risk on him a little bit. Outside of that, Dak is the best quarterback on this list, and then Justin Fields like number 2, and everybody else is trash, pretty much. So, talk about leverage. Dak's going to get a big payday. You go somewhere else, bigger than in Dallas. Honestly, I think so.
I'm going to also remind everyone, I'm almost positive that this past year, 2023, was one of the worst years for like quarterbacks, quarterback injuries. Like we saw so many quarterbacks go down at some point or another. Heck, actually in the last year or two. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, that absolutely impacts the quarterback market when, for whatever reason, they just had a streak of bad luck, and so many of them are dropping.
And like a lot of them right now, I mean, Russell Wilson will be out there, but it's a 1-year guy. Like, Dak is still the guy to take you for one more chance at a run. Russell Wilson's like your temporary placeholder for your quarterback. So that's what it feels like with Pittsburgh right now. So
now, what do you have to say about Dak Delusional, who says Dak's leverage is gone. Trey's looking amazing in practice, faster, bigger, stronger, better arm, more accurate.
It sounds like it's somebody who's having dreams about Trey Lance. Like he's actually Dak. You should be Trey Delusional. Trey Lance Delusional is what you should be called.
Ready, Red. We're honestly very lucky that Dak grew up a Cowboy fan. I'm not joking. I feel like that bit of psychology there is a big reason why Dak has been just so excessively nice and patient with some of the shenanigans that we've had.
Well, I think that's running thin. Is if you look at our title today, and I don't think you know this, baby, but there's been a change in Dak, and we're gonna go through that. Okay. That's really the main. That's actually how I'm gonna end this thing. But that's how I'm gonna end it tonight. But okay. I have an audio clip, and I want you to tell me what you think.
Okay.
Now.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to read one more comment about this quarterback thing. Drums and Cowboys, shout out to you. Lost in translation. What's up? But Drum said, Goff is not trash. He had a great year, was competitive in the playoffs. That's something that Dak Prescott was not.
Okay, trash, not trash, but not better than Dak. I just don't see it. Sorry. Goff is not as good. Goff was good when he had certain McVay in his ear. That's when he was like workable. Listen, Goff with right now, with the Lions, he was manageable. He was good enough, but I don't think he's anything special. Not that Dak is that special. I'm saying, but Dak is, I'd say, a spot or two above Jared Goff right now. And what I'm trying to say is, even if there's like 2 or 3 okay quarterbacks, Justin Fields, throw in there Jared Goff, sure, Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott, most people are going to take Dak Prescott first. I'm just trying to say that the general look is there's not a lot of good big names out there this upcoming free agency, and Dak is one of the biggest names if he's out there. Let's be real. I don't care. I know Drums and Cowboys. His name is not Dak Delusional. So, but like even if you're Dak Delusional, you got to admit that Dak's one of the best quarterbacks on free agent market, and and it's not the only reason why he has leverage. There's a lot of other reasons he has leverage. That's just another reason why Dak Prescott has leverage over these two clowns. Now, we did have some people speak today or yesterday, which was Stephen Jones, one of these two clowns, took the mic. And let me see here, guys. So he actually spoke, and let me actually bring this clown show to a close and just put Stephen Jones in the mix because he spoke about a couple different players, one of them being Trey Lance. And that's why we're going to hear, you're going to hear, you see Trey Lance in the front there.
I was just about to say, that list of quarterbacks you gave, I'm like, a few of those names sounded not just familiar, but like, aren't they ours?
Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, and Dak Prescott are all scheduled to be free agents. We have no quarterback, technically, for next year. Now, what did Stephen Jones say, baby, about all of our quarterbacks being free agents at the end of this season? Stephen Jones.
Certainly Dak is a priority in terms of his contract, and certainly we'll be taking a look at Trey. I know Trey will look at his situation as well in terms of what his options are, and I'm sure a lot of that will depend on how everything works out with Dak. Cooper Rush has been a strong backup here for us, but all of those things will just have to play out.
So basically, no answer. We want to see more Trey Lance, which we obviously know. And we're going to see more Trey Lance in preseason. We're going to see a lot of Trey Lance. I'm excited about that.
I mean, I actually disagree. I think he did kind of give us an answer there in certain ways, right?